Welcome everyone, I am Lady Flame and we are back to Ambition Amino Atom Power. I can't even speak today. Last time, if you didn't see last time, oh my gosh, what are you even doing here? Okay, we got Marcel's secrets and now money are not longer a problem. Like, oh my gosh. So let's just go see incidents, minions and misdirections. Sure, let's go. Your exploration of the city extends later into the day. And you find yourself wandering relatively empty streets. Out of the corner of your eye, you spot a disreputable-looking man step out of an alleyway, glance about and walk away at a faster than normal speed. This normally wouldn't be a cause for concern, as you've seen plenty of the city's criminal class in your walks. Dear me, oh no. However, right before he passes you, you see him tuck a letter into his coat. A letter written on fine paper, sealed with the same color wax used by Viscountess Marcel. Oh no, Marcel. Against your better judgment, you start following the suspicious man. Marcel, you're in trouble. I am in trouble. Managed to stealthily shadow this man's twisting route for nearly half an hour when he suddenly whirls around to turn on you. The dwindling sunlight glints off a weapon's hand. Oh, hello. Who the devil are you? He spits. Your employer sent me to oversee this little job of yours. I'm the only person who can stop you from getting caught, you incompetent fool. Me, I'm nobody in particular, just walking the same street as you. I'm here to oversee. Employer sent you to follow me. Utterly typical. They were overbearing to begin with, and now they're jumping at every shadow. Of course, they send some women to supervise me. Okay, I'm offended, but okay. So what do you want? Give me the letter. I'm the second stage for the delivery. Yes, give it to me. Nobody told me this delivery was going to have some more moving parts. Operations growing more sleep shop. The day straight after that business with the bear on the marble, everything has gone weary. Some days it feels like the man left with any common sense. With that, he pulls the letter from his coat and hands it to you. Then, without another word, he storms away. He seems to be muttering something about incompetence under his breath. The letter in hand, you press your back against the wall. Make sure that you're alone. You learn something about your erstwhile nemesis. Quick slice from a small knife you keep in your bag. You delve into the letter to see what perfidy Marcel is up to. This letter you manage to find some damaging gossip. It's really damaging, in fact. Outrageous crown gossip. Carefully reading the letter again, you also manage to gain some knowledge of their future plots. Should be a little easier to sidestep their machinations now. Lower payroll. Let's go. Taking the letter into your stays, you quickly head home before anyone has a chance to ask questions about your curious behavior. Night has fallen by the time you make it back to your house. This was a fruitful day indeed. Oh my gosh, Camille, get ready, I got the tea to spill. Camille, good morning, madame. Else rent is due. Girl, do not worry, we got the money. Merci beaucoup, madame. C'est the pearls of journalism. Oh no, we need a man alive. Traveling about town, you find yourself once more in a fountain square. Not sure if you've been to this particular one before, but something feels distantly familiar. There's a lot of fountains in Paris, it seems. Or at least there were. As you grow less distant, you realize exactly what's familiar. Oh my gosh, can I speak properly? It's a certain overpowering cologne. There's only one man in Paris who snorted so much stuff as to think such a vile concussion was a good idea. In fact, someone is screaming at him right now. Oh dear. How dare you? You salacious cur! You're in my private matters for all the world to see and be nearly ruined. Haha, Monsieur, I'm afraid you're going to have to be a little more specific with your identity. You know how little does it narrow it down. The man grabs Pierre by the shirt collar and drags the diminutive journalist closer. How about I knock some sense into you? Will you remember then? Now, this is a problem. If Pierre gets trashed to death, there's nobody left to buy your gossip. Monsieur, you can't kill me now before I get my chance to hurt him. Oh, damn, girl. What? The man says, noticing you for the first time. This scoundrel has wronged you as well. Well, I'm a gentleman. I will let you have your satisfaction, he says, starting to walk away. Suddenly he turns his heel and swiftly punches Pierre in the gut. The journalist doubles over in pain. Now that I've acquired my own satisfaction, it's all yours, madame. Good, okay. The assailant walks away, disappearing into the crowd. Thinking this we suffer for exposing the truth, no? I'm sure I will be in far worse condition had you not intervened. Yeah, Pierre. He shuffles through his pocket and hands you a few coins as a bonus for your help. Thanks, Pierre. Help Pierre back to his office, which is also where he lives. As you're certain that he's not going to die of his injuries, you head back to your own place. It's a rough world out there. The dangers of being a paparazzi. He's a paparazzi. Come on, guys. Selling gossip. Oh, a week ago, a wallpaper manufacturer named Jean-Baptiste Revillon made a speech demanding bread prices to be lowered to something workers could afford. Yeah, let them eat bread. However, the speech was misinterpreted as a plan to control the wages of workers. No, that's communist, that's mafia. Last night, a protest at this factory resolved peacefully. Oh, man, phew. Today, however, was different. Oh no. Yesterday, crowds over 3,000 strong returned today. Damn! As mobs began to smash Revillon's factory. Oh no, the watchmen of the Goat Royale were mobilized to contain the crowds, suddenly reinforced by the Queen's Dragoons? The Queen's Dragoons? It's Doki Bird in here! What? We're in the area for a training exercise. The bourgeois lost power. The sudden presence of the military was a disquieting one. Disquieting one? I'm sorry, what? It's one thing to face the watchman one sees every day on the street, but it's another to see mountain soldiers with rifles and sabers. Yeah, that's scarier. One exists to keep the established order, the other exists to kill. Ooh, damn, no pulling any punches. Fear began to escalate through the crowd. Fear led to violence. No, I got the chills for that. A brick was thrown. Oh no, a rifle was fired. Nobody knows which happened first, but for a brief moment the floodgates of violence were open and blood flowed in the street around the simple wallpaper factory. Gosh, the sounds, stop it. In the midst of this madness, a common soldier bore oak ranks, riding into the center of the conflict, waving his hat, imploring everyone to put down their weapons and come to their senses. Yeah, the unbelievable sight was enough to stun those who saw it, to make them reconsider their actions. He was struck down by a bullet, fired by one of his own comrades. An accident. I sure hope it was an accident. His name was Corporal Thomas Alexandre Dumas. Like Dumas the author? He will be remembered as a hero. His death led to an abrupt ceasefire and is credited... Whoa, sorry, I get the chills again. 1 second. An abrupt ceasefire is credited with greatly diminishing the amount of casualty that day. This has led to a sudden swelling of support for the member of the soldering class from all corners of society. Oh, military gained power. His funeral was one of the most widely attended in recent history, with demagogues from both the crown and the revolution claiming to Alexander as a martyr to their cause. The military establishment has chosen to remain silent on the matter. Crown and revolution power up. This silence, in fact, has been deeply concerning for members of aristocracy who are worried that the common soldiers will be less likely to bear arms against their fellow citizens. Yeah. Still, despite this, the soldiers of the Grand Français have volunteered to patrol the street until a measure of peace is restored. This is being greeted with a weary assent by the public. Military has moved its allegiance toward the revolution. Ooh, the legion has changed. Ooh, that is very interesting. So, with the loss of a voice pleading for peace, Paris has started to burn. Ooh, I have the chills. Chapter 2, playing to win. Okay. Let's go! Chapter 2! Wow, only 8 episodes. But this means there will be more repeat things, so I can jump those since we already saw them at the parties and etc. Oh, you wake up from a fitful sleep, girl! Things happen while you were sleeping happily. Spend around an hour rolling around in bed instead of actually getting up. Relatable at times. You know how dangerous the situation outside has become. You haven't left the house in several days. Girl, what are you doing? The lost sleep makes perfect sense, of course. After last week's event, it's hard to imagine resting easily at all. Yeah. Your mind keeps coming back to the large events of last week. How a mob of peasants simply overran the holding of one of the wealthiest and most powerful men in France. There was nothing special about those people, and yet they so easily defied the laws of His Majesty the King. Brings to mind the idea that what we call power is a partner dance between the ruler and the ruled. Yes, remember, people give the power to the politicians. At least in my constitution, that's what it says. The king is the people. The people is king. It sounds weird, but we are the monarchy. The common people are the monarchy. We are the ones in control. We command. To those watching the dance, it feels like the small pushes and pull of the ruler represent absolute control. That's only because both partners know their roles so well. That's the power of good theater. Can make imaginary things seem more true than reality. Can I say the writing in this game is amazing? I don't know if I already said that, but just poor poetry. Like, these lines are fire. However, the truth is that a single misstep by either partner could cause the entire dance to break down. Break down. No, not break dance, okay? A single misstep can cause the ruled to remember that they aren't actually powerless at all. Ooh! As the people remember how much power they truly possess, Paris will become more and more dangerous. Your action may now have more powerful consequences for good or for ill. Whoa, the world has become less forgiving. Next stage of certain romance stories are now locked. Yeah! Camille, we are entering a new era. You have no idea yet, but trust me. Madame, I just got this letter for you, she announced as she enters your chambers, holding up the message in question. This is the weekly money. Earlier this morning, I saw a man leave it on our doorstep, but it disappeared before I could get a good look at him. Camille, apologize. Don't apologize, sweetheart. Come on, let's see who's writing to me. Come on, girl. Ready for some gossip? Take the unsealed letter from her and open it. Immediately, you note that while their handwriting is both careful and curiously precise, you don't recognize it at all. Ooh! Madame de Caux, you don't know me, but I follow La Trompette du Peuple with interest, and I know that you're connected to some of its finest stories. Oh dear, a fan! It's a fan! However, I also have reason to believe that it will be quite useful to some of your more clandestine interests. I'll be waiting La Place Royale if you would like to discuss this further. Camille, I have a mission. Why does the La Place Royale sound familiar? Shuffle through your paper and see till you locate on your map. Someone once told you that it was a good place to troll for ghosts. Somebody once told me I will visit the Place Royale. Sign a skill master of letters. Dang, dude. It's certainly unconventional, but if you want to meet this man, you could do that today. I could. No, I cannot. Oh my gosh. A servant checked your invitation. You know what? Give the wine. She gratefully takes the gift from you and set it aside. As you enter the party, you can hear the whispers of their guests noting your generosity. Let's flipping go. Let the games begin. Okay, let's see this. Holier than you, than thou. I never know the olden ways to speak this thing. You breathe in deep, and taking the smell of nearby candles as you survey the party for the best potential targets for your social endeavors. Where's my man? He's not here. This is not okay. But you managed to spot a cluster of people who should be perfect for just that. Exactly the sort who can provide the best gossip. However, just as you begin to walk over, you're intercepted by a woman who isn't merely wearing a sour look on her face. She instead appears to be living that look. She has a resting ham face. Bonsoir, Madame Decoux. Let me save you some time, tell you that your reputation has preceded you. My reputation, I have 73 credibility. That's a lot. A lot has been said about your conduct. None of this labels you as a woman of God. Are you sure? So answer me a simple question. What exactly are you doing here? I think you spoke to Father Sinati, he'd be able to vouch for me. Damn. Yeah. Really? You will people know Father Sidoti? She asks, reappraising you more carefully this time. Oh, credibility up. If that's the case, I imagine you can't be as bad as I thought. You resist the urge to roll your eyes. Bye! With her dispatch, you approach the promising group you were seeking before and managed to chat with them a few moments before they disperse. A bit of gossip. As the guests scatter, you carefully rehearse your newly occurred gossip in your head in order to commit to the memory. Not the best outcome, but that's a victory to get out of the way of that girl. Where's it? Okay, I'm calm. Painful revelation. Oh yeah, we set up all those freaking gossip about me. Now it's time to take the fruits of that. Considering your next move, you decide to take a turn at the cathedral and see what's in offer. Seems that Anne's plan to spread rumors about you in order to set up the bear on the thought for humiliation is working. You can tell because when you get near a group, everyone starts whispering and making a pointed effort at not looking your direction. Which is moronic. Why would anyone not want to look at you? Thank you, game. Musing of fools are interrupted by perhaps the biggest fool of all. Bonjour, madame. I'm Claude the Baron. Where I perceive you're heard of me. You may not be aware, but I've certainly heard quite a bit about you, he says without the subtlety of a brick being heard through a window. The subtlety of the brick. Oh no. I don't know what exactly you've done to her Marcel's ire, but she seems most pleased with my work. Marcel, you're gonna hear about this. Again, I've done nothing to work with if you didn't engage in such outrageous behavior yourself. Certainly true to a point. I clearly left myself open for such an attack. If I did no wrong, you just invent one. So what does it matter? Can we please discuss anything else? You just make up one. How dare you, madame? How dare you treat me like some kind of fanciful fabricationist? Why am I very Excusez-moi, monsieur, but you the baron? Asked a young woman. Over the baron's shoulder in the distance, you see Anne raising her glass to you. Oh my gosh, Anne, what did you do? Oui, madame, my reputation truly spread so far. Dieu, she gasped as her eyes land upon you. You're really willing to be in the company of Madame Decaux, despite the terrible joke has been playing upon you? Oh, please, madame, I doubt there's anything even a clever creature or like Madame Decaux can say that would... what was that you just said about a terrible joke? It's just that you were repeating these rumors about her. But it came out just yesterday that everything in that story was completely false. Well, that was enough to scandalize a few in the room. In fact, you're pretty sure you heard someone dropping a glass. What? I have this on good authority from someone in this very room. Well, yes, Madame de Crozmer made it up just to see how clever you were. You know, a jape. Come on, Baron, you still remember what a joke is, right? I'm shocked you didn't recognize a joke. Oh my gosh, you're one after all, then. Oh, to the devil with you, replies, his voice cracking slightly. It appears that he's far more graceful as a villain than as a victim. You're not the first to notice his sudden lack of composure either. And the murmuring of the crowd grows louder and more insistent, shifting the closer subject towards scorn in an instant. It appears that your vindication is 9. Yeah, oh my, 93-year credibility. How awkward. Perhaps I should leave. She leaves, and the Baron is fixing you with a look of venomous hatred. His feet swell up like a toad, preparing to unleash some truly poisonous barb. And then he scuttles away without saying anything. Well, if he didn't want you to bring your vengeance upon him, he wouldn't have wronged you in the first place. And joins you, Anne, my girl. I'm gonna take you out to drink some tea. Do they drink tea in France? What am I asking? Anne joins you, already handing you a fresh glass of wine. A toast for the victors, huh? Take a long sip of the wine, find it shockingly refreshing. This sort of story is exactly the sort of thing that Pierre and his readers will love. Something fitting in the idea of a propagator of tiresome false intrigues becoming a more enticing subject for a real one. Oh my gosh, can I speak? You and Anna stay a while to drink and celebrate your victory before parting ways. This is lovely, but there's always more to do. Oh my gosh. Let's flipping go. Oh my gosh. Yesterday, with a great fanfare, the States General finally convened. This great meeting is the result of His Majesty the King calling together all 3 estates of France to debate and vote upon how the various crises ravaging the country shall be resolved. Part of the opening ceremony, each estate paraded down the streets of the city. Oh no, I already see bad things on the horizon. First estate, the church, sent clergymen from all over France. Among their numbers are everything from humble countryside priests, their black cassocks, to rampant bishops and cardinals bedecked in crimson and gold. Oh no. Second estate, the nobility, strutted down the street in union, bedecked in their finest clothes and jewels. They seemed like an army of swaggering peacocks. That! There is the realm of tradition, privilege, and loyalty to the crown. And third estate, representing over 9/10 of France's population, marched in stern and quiet rows, dressed in black, browns, and other sober colors, represent everyone from the highly just to wealthy factory owner to the lowest peasants. In fact, His Majesty has never seen fit to break from tradition to grant the third estate double representation. Yeah, oh my gosh, third estate. I remember studying this thing, but of course with other names, since I was studying in Italian. With twice the amount of representatives, they are closer to representing their own stake in the country, which was originally a source of great hope. Unfortunately, it has come to pass that while they were granted double representation, they haven't been given a double amount of votes. Oh my gosh. The third estate still can only cast as many votes as either the first or the second estate. It means that their double representation is purely symbolic. It's very easy, since the nobility and the crown and the church are very rich and the others aren't. They can't vote, like, if they vote something like, okay, do you want to tax the rich? The church and the nobility say no, and the others say yes. It's still 2-1 vote. So yeah, nothing's gonna change for the poor people, for the better, maybe for the worse. Needless to say, this has made many people extremely unhappy. In fact, it led some within the third estate to, wait, what the devil? Clenching the newspaper in your tightened clutches, you read the article carefully. One of the men described in the article sounded extremely familiar. Long brown hair, young and tall, representing the nobility of the second estate, but as elected to merely wear a fine blue coat for the opening ceremonies without other adornments. The article writer singled out his casual attire as disrespectful. That's Armand. You're absolutely certain. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna punch his face. Without any illustration to speak of, you're forced to carefully reread a short passage over and over again. Every tiny statement about the representator's chosen viewpoint of the ceremonies gains a new value as you attempt to deduce whether Armand was last seen. After checking your findings against your map of Paris, you think you might have a lead. Searching Armand. In fact, you might be able to search for him today. No, I have a party to go to. I'm busy. I have stuff to do. I don't care about this guy. Okay, let's try this. A structural disagreement. Let's see. Find yourself drawn to the telltale sounds of an argument. If nothing else, it should be entertaining. Oh, this guy. Me, monsieur, you're blaming me for the collapse of the last bridge? I visited the work site myself and I saw the supplies that you sold the builders. The stone had enough cracks in them to resemble a spider's web. Damn. Of course my design didn't hold up. The angels themselves couldn't succeed with such shabby materials. You exaggerate, garçon. The materials my company supplied weren't as poor as you say. Even they were, every business has a right to save itself money where possible. You even listen to yourself. You trade your very soul to the devil for a few coins. No, yeah, I am confusing the two. And I think you still have struck the better bargain. Monsieur von Madoff replies, his expression calm, but his voice white hot with anger. Listen here, you Austrian cur. You do not have the right to speak to me like that. I might not hold a title, but I am still far above your station. I'm a regular guest of the lords and ladies of Versailles, and I will be treated as such. I'm sure the nobles adore you and your refusal to take responsibility for your own failings. Damn! However, if you'd actually paid any attention, you would have noticed that the court of Versailles don't quite have the favor of the people in this room. Damn! Then again, I don't expect you to notice that. It will require you to pay attention to something other than yourself. My gosh. Some of the serving guests whisper among each other reprovingly. Even the Bourgogne is unhappy with the crown at the moment. One still has to give a certain amount of respect to powerful men like this Masonry magnate. You're treading on dangerous ground, garçon. Should I'm the one that is danger? Christophe replies, smiling. For the first time, I've learned a lot while having the unpleasurable experience of working with you. If you're not careful, some of your indiscretion could become more public. See both of them sharply inhaling, about to deliver the next verbal blow. Okay. Steam and steer, did you make your entire fortune shifting blame or just most of it? Damn, girl! Or a poor craftsman blaming stool? Christophe, surely this esteemed gentleman is right. Now, monsieur, perhaps it isn't so bad. Let's not take the bridge too far. Okay, you know what? Let's go with the bridge pun. Are you really suggesting that we should just live and let live over something this serious? Christophe asked flatly. Perhaps we can part ways and simply be initially polite to each other from now on. I can find these terms agreeable as long as I never have to work with you again. Yeah. Magnate leaves and Christophe turns to you. Well, that was vaguely satisfactory and I suppose it prevented us from causing a scene. So thank you, Madame Decaux. Woo! Oh my gosh, I'm on a roll on this! If you might excuse me, I have some other business to attend to. My reputation has been damaged enough by that loathsome blockhead that I must find a new project to save my reputation. I get it. Tired of seeing so many of the same familiar faces, you wander into the vestibule and cannot help but notice a brilliantly dressed man. Feeling curious, you approach him. Seeing you, he quickly plucks two wine glasses off the tray of a passing servant and then asks them to get you something as well. Bonsoir. It's an absolute pleasure to meet you. I'm Guillaume de Sable, patron of the sartorial arts and libertine philosopher. Oh, it's a pleasure. Oh my, the infamous Yvette Decaux. I'm honored to be in such a scandalous presence. Scandalous me! If it helps, I am no stranger to being described either. It's usually awful, but you must admit that there's something fun about being hated by terrible people that makes you really realize how good your decisions have been. Another thing you and I might share is a common enemy, at least by association. And he says a servant bring you a glass, filled it with a decent red wine. Let's see. Being wronged by the Viscount de Foix. Yes, I am. Simply despises me. I think it's because she's from one of those tilted noble families that's so tied up in their position that their supposed dignity because they have no other positive qualities. Oh, sir, the things I could tell you. That in mind, I think you would be the perfect person to help me gain the much-needed up hand on other most social defenders, the Count de Sanson. You see, this man has been a thorn in my side for years, but recently crossed a line when he threatened to publicize some of my more torrid romantic affairs. Sir! And I'm ashamed, mind you. Well, would hate for such a fate to fall upon those I happen to be involved with. Not everyone is as fortunate as I am to live as I do. Though they should, matters one of the wine glasses, while he takes a deep draught of wine. Yeah, people should be able to just live how they want. If there are no one, what's the matter? So, to preempt this problem, I'd like you to approach the despicable boor and claim to represent someone who is interested in marrying his detestable son. Ew. Of course, you can put it kinder words. Chance to make such an awful man miserable? Where do I start? Yeah, where do I start? Fantastic, madame. You have made the right choice. As I was saying before, the Count de Sanson has a detestable son who is burning through this family's fortune through his excessive gambling. Oh no. With that in mind, I'd like you to approach him and claim to be delivering a letter on behalf of the wealthy common woman from the countryside who's looking to marry his son and gain a title. I, of course, have already written the first letter. Sir, dang, you think in advance, you are prepared. handing you a letter that's been dipped in some sort of sweet perfume. As he asks his blockhead son right back to this address, providing my letter, I shall handle the rest until our grand reveal, which shall utterly humiliate them both. The exact date can be determined later. I will just ask that you keep an eye out for me at future parties. Perfect. However, I must give you a fair warning. The Count de Samson is a boorish man, generally suspicious of anyone smarter than him. It's not exactly a high bar to clear. Oh no. So if you act too canny, he'll start to suspect treachery of some sort. See, our Mark has entered the party just now. Please excuse me as he will leave before he realizes that something is afoot. With that, Monsieur de Sable discreetly drains the wine glass and excuses himself. Letter in hand, you approach the Count de Sanson. He appears to be in the process of berating his lackey? That's rude. You utter incompetent, he mutters as his servant scurries away to perform some sort of errand for him. And you are? He asks, barely even looking at you. To you, I'm nobody at all, just a lowly woman sent to deliver a letter. Ah, it's good to see that some people in this damn country still happen to know their place. Damn. Okay. I shall happily relieve you of this burden, and you may return to whatever business that you were up to earlier, continues in a voice that he assumed to be indulgent. However, his mood shifts the second he opens the letter intended for his son. To read the contents seems most hungry. Young lady, who entrusted you with this late letter? Oh, monsieur, I was hoping you could tell me. Oh my god, yeah, dumb. Well, I'm glad that you are aware of your significant limitations. Oh my gosh. Shall take the matter from here, he says, patting you on the back of the hand. There is the urge to recoil from him, like one would from any other charge. Sparrow, yes. This small affair is puzzling, and I despise my wits being tested. Still, even if you can't deduce their identity, then I will be able to. Sure, my son will absolutely adore this woman's company. Without another word, you will leave with the letter, reading it over and over again. It appears that Monsieur de Sable's plan has been set in motion. Fantastic! Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. Okay, another day. More news? No, everything is calm. Wow. We'll see the next of the stories next time. I hope you had fun, hope you enjoyed, and everything. Leave comments, like, whatever you want. And I'll see you all next time. Bye!